Family, this is Providence. Thanks for tuning in. The Fall Off by J. Cole is out right now. I've listened to the whole thing about twice, all the way through. First time, thought it was good. Second time, all the way through, thought it was great. My final review, 9.5 out of 10. J. Cole could have a classic on the way. It's a little bit too early to call. I think that we should reserve calling albums classic until at least 5 years have passed to see how the album settles in. But either way, I'm pretty sure this is a great album and I loved it. It's only about 2 tracks right now that I feel like I'm not feeling, but I reserve to change my mind. I reserve the right to change my mind as time goes on. I think J. Cole is gonna divide a lot of people with this album. We already saw a lot of the rhetoric coming up to this project. A lot of people were being critical. Oh, he's still talking tough. He's still gloating and bragging about being the best and being number one. How could he say that when he backed out the battle? Kendrick challenged him. He popped out and then apologized, and we don't want to hear it. It's not hitting the same no more. I'm sure you're going to see a lot of those takes as people begin to share their opinion on the album. And I understand that perspective. I did a video on it recently, and I gave my argument as to why I feel like people are really being unreasonable with J. Cole backing out of a battle, apologizing, and somehow, even though while I agree that wasn't a good look and it's not going to be a good look for his legacy, J. Cole is way too icy as a rapper, way too skilled, and his catalog is way too good for people to let all of his legacy hang on the fact that he did not want to engage in a battle. I think that that's ridiculous. And he's going to be a rapper at the end of the day. Every rapper is going to claim to be the best. I don't care if you picked up a pen and a pad yesterday. You're supposed to think you're the best. That's inherent in hip hop, right? And so if you got people who ain't accomplished anything close to what J. Cole accomplished, but yet and still are going to claim to be the best, how are you going to tell J. Cole, a man who's literally put out classic hip hop albums, who is, I think, at this point in the rap game, the best lyricist in the game, how are you going to tell him not to feel like he's the best? He's good. He's damn good. And again, I made the point in my last video about this, that J. Cole is a kung fu master who chose peace, like many kung fu masters, if challenged, would choose peace. But that don't mean that they can't fight. That don't mean that they can't get busy. Okay? Now, what do I like about this project? Obviously, J. Cole's rapping at a high level. We expected that. I think that, obviously, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know I'm a Drake fan. I think Drake is the greatest artist ever. I think Drake, pound for pound, will make the best music, but lyrically, in terms of lyricism, bar for bar, I think J. Cole's pen is the most elite right now in the rap game. We expected nothing less for the Fall Off. He delivered the flows, the bars, it's all there. Classic J. Cole, just rapping, man. If you like hip hop, if you like to just hear somebody rap at a high level, I don't know how you don't like this album. Okay, I understand that people's palettes have changed a lot, right? Since, I don't know, hip hop moved to the South, people have drifted more from raps to more melodies and beats and that sort of thing. And, melodic rappers have mostly ran the scene, and people don't really like the rappity rap stuff no more. Okay, so I understand some people might be turned off by that. But if you're a guy who just loves, man, to just hear somebody rap, bro, just rap at a high level and not just be rhyming words, but like actually conveying deep ideas and thoughts as they're rapping at a high level. If there's a fan base that still exists for that, and I think that there is, you're going to like this album. It's fantastic when it comes to the rapping. Now, what I do like about this project is that Cole did experiment creatively with some of the songs. He has a song, I think, called The Fall Off is Inevitable, where he's rapping backwards. Now, we saw Nas do this, but J. Cole, I think, put a spin on it with rapping his whole life backwards. I think, to me, the best line in that whole thing was where he said he saw his dad walk back into his life, basically saying that his dad walked out of his life at an early age, which was, I think, it's a very powerful line. Another dope song is What If, and it's crazy because there's a Marvel show called What If, and if I'm not mistaken, they do alternate realities, right? And I think he did I don't know if he got the idea from that Marvel show What If, but basically he's rapping as Tupac and Biggie, and he's given an alternate universe in which they resolve their issues in a peaceful manner, and they basically both would still be alive today. And he raps as Biggie and Pac, basically apologizing to each other. And what I like about that song is that he does use their flow. Like, he sounds like Biggie, he sounds like Pac, he drags his syllables like how Pac would drag his syllables, everything. I thought that was just really creative, really dope. And it shows his range as a lyricist to be able to mimic Biggie and Pac and sound just like them. I know some people might feel some type of way about that. Oh, what's he doing? Rapping as Biggie, rapping as Pac. Some people might try to make it into something that is disrespectful, but I think J. Cole's heart was in the right place. And I think overall the song was dope. I think one of the most important songs on here is also Quick Stop, man, where he's talking about meeting someone at a gas station and that person showed him mad love, and it made him realize that this constant race to be number one isn't everything that we've made it out to be. The most important thing is about the impact that you have, your ability to actually change people's lives, right? And that's really the concept of this album. The concept of this album is, you can rise to the top and that's cool, but at the end of the day, you're gonna fall off. Everything that you work for is gonna be taken away from you. This rat race that we're in to be number one isn't ultimately worth it. What really is worth it is you trying to change people's lives. That's essentially what he's trying to communicate with this album. And I appreciate that message. I do think that it's not all the way executed perfectly, because he does still claim to be number one. He still claims to want to be number one. So you still see him fighting to be that guy because he still thinks he's the best. So it's a little bit contradictory for you for on the one hand, it seems like you're pulling over and you're checking out of the rat race. You're not trying to be a part of the rat race no more. You just want to make an impact. Okay, on the one hand, you're saying that, but on the other hand, you're still claiming to be the best. You're still claiming to be number one, and you want everybody to know nobody better than you. So it's a little contradictory, but I think that I'm willing to live in the tension of, I think, what he's trying to communicate. And the tension is, I think that both things can be true. You can strive to be the best, but at the same time, you got to understand that that's not what it's ultimately about. Right? It's nothing wrong with wanting to be number one. However, that isn't the ultimate goal that you should be trying to attain, because you'll wake up one day and realize that you're not happy even after you've gotten to number one, and you're eventually going to lose it all, because no one can stay at number one forever. So it's a tension that's inbuilt to the album, where he's still trying to be number one and show that he's number one, while at the same time conceding that trying to be number one ain't everything that is cracked up to be. Now, I know some people are going to respond to that and say, okay, he's copping a plea. Now that he backed out of the rap battle, now that he knows people saying he can't be number one no more, now all of a sudden he's saying he don't want to be number one, right? People are going to say that's just him copping a plea. That might be true, but at the end of the day, he ain't wrong. And if it took him backing out of the rap battle to come to some, I think, real important life lessons, so be it. How do you learn in life unless you move through life, make mistakes, grow from it, come to a realization that certain things ain't what it's cracked up to be and all that? That's how you learn. So cool, it may be the case that he fell on his face with this rap battle, and that's what caused him to come to the conclusion that being number one ain't everything that you're supposed to be trying to do in this life. I think it's a good message to put out there, period. You know what I mean? And I support that. Ultimately, it ain't really about, I mean, I would put a deeper spiritual meaning behind what he's saying. And ultimately, it's not just about making an impact, it's about what you do for God. Ultimately, you're calling and accomplishing what God put you on this planet to do, to glorify him and to accomplish what he put you on the planet to do, is your ultimate purpose, right? not even just to make an impact, it's to literally obey God and do what he told you to do, right? He doesn't put it in quite those terms, but that's, I think, essentially at the core of what he's trying to get at. And I appreciate that message. So I think the album overall is well done, well executed. I don't know how much it's going to sell. I feel like this generation isn't going to appreciate the type of rapping that J. Cole is doing on this. This generation likes their rappers to use no more than 3 syllables per word when they rap. J. Cole's got all these complex bars. So I don't think this album was made for the radio. And I don't think J. Cole really cares a rip about that. He did the project that was on his heart to do. And I think he's going to live with the results. And I think that as time goes on, the appreciation for this album will be immense. In terms of album of the year just started, so we don't know who else dropping. Obviously, we know Iceman is on the way. We'll see what Drake has cooking for us. Personally, I think Drake's gonna really have to, if he really wants album of the year, Iceman's gonna have to hit, because I feel like this project from J. Cole is really heavy. And it's a project that J. Cole's been cooking for a long time. And usually when you've been cooking something for years and years and years, it's going to be at a high level. So we'll see what Drake has. I know Drake is super motivated right now. So I anticipate that Iceman will be good. But to be honest with you, it's going to have to be damn near a classic for me to rate it higher than the fall off. And I say that as a Drake fan in full anticipation of Drake's next project. But anyway, guys, hit the comments. Let me know what you think. You rocking with the fall off or not? Is it overrated? Is it underrated? Is it a classic? Is it garbage? Let me know your thoughts. It's been Providence. I'll see you guys in the next video.